Okay.
So again, I'm Tara Short. I own Green Adventures Tours, and I'll be your main hostess today for this Hot Springs and Mindfulness presentation. So you can get introduced to one of our newest and like I would say one of my favorite tours that Green Adventures has to offer. But before I start talking and my friends in Iceland start talking, I would love to hear from a couple of you about what you're interested in and hope to learn during this presentation. Lynn, do you mind if I start with you?
Fine.
So tell us, introduce yourself, Lynn.
I'm Lynn. I'm from Gainesville, Florida.
Hi, Lynn.
I am hoping to get some more information and details on meditation, breathing exercises, things that I need to help me with my health. I went on the July adventure tour this past year with Tara and Inga, and it was absolutely fabulous. And so now I'm anxious to go up and see the north and experience some snow.
Nice.
Excellent. Thank you, Lynn. And I look forward to seeing you in March. You're one of the registered participants. Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori Anderson. I'm live in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, and I'm both a Green Adventures trip leader and a participant on as many trips as I can squeeze in. And I've been on a number of the Iceland trips, and I love them all. And this one really has my curiosity. I'm not registered for it yet, but I wanted to hear what it was all about.
Excellent. And Lori's become, I think anybody there's two places in this world that the problem with going there is that you've been there. So I would have to say any place in Africa, right? It's like now you've gone, you got to keep going back. And then Iceland it definitely gets into your soul. And as you can see, Lori comes back and Lynn wants to come back. So, and I'm always devising a plan to get back. So, Teresa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm just trying to unmute. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Teresa Baisley. I come from Timmins, Ontario, Canada. See lots of snow all the time. But I was interested in solo tours of some kind, and someone mentioned this site, so I'm having a look at it.
Oh, awesome.
I'm retired for about a year. I was in healthcare for 40 years as an ultrasound technologist. So
wonderful. So when you say someone recommended the site, they recommend Green Adventures or this Hot Springs and Mindfulness tour?
The Green Adventure tour.
Oh, okay. And then you did you find out about the webinar through an email blast, or what came first?
So someone posted the website and then I clicked on it and I saw it on Facebook, went scrolling through and saw that, and it kind of piqued my interest. So that's why I registered today.
Excellent. Well, great. Thanks, Teresa, for just coming in and getting to see the people behind the tours, what you see online. Hopefully I'll meet you in Iceland one day. Now we have Leanne, who's just joining us, and I'll let her get a chance. Leanne, what we're doing is we're just kind of going through and doing some introductions to just kind of get a feel for what people are, what piqued their interest for the Hot Springs tour and where you're coming from. You might be on the thing about this time of day is people might be working. She could be on the other side going, Tara, I can't talk right now. I'm actually supposed to be working. But Leanne is she is one of the registered participants, and Leanne's been on quite a few Green Adventures tours. Lori, I mean, how many has she been on? I know Baja, Tanzania. Oh, you're mute. Idaho.
Hi guys.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yep. Just
here she is. There she is.
Sorry, I'm running from one thing to the other, and I was in too much of a hurry and couldn't get everything. Like I got rattled and couldn't get it all unmuted and stuff. So.
Oh, that's okay.
story.
Hear what I was saying? We were just kind of going over like, who is Leanne and how many tours has she been on? I was counting on my fingers as you were getting yourself, but how many tours has it been?
Let's see. I started with Baja. I just went like randomly by myself, not knowing anybody. That was in 2020, right before the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
So Baja,
Costa Rica.
Tanzania, and Iceland, hopefully.
Oh, well, in Idaho, you did
Oh
the
yeah, and Idaho. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, Idaho.
Great.
Yes.
Well, thanks. So, like, what was, and the last question is, what is it about this trip that made you want to sign up?
So, well, one best friend and I both signed up, Kathy, and we are very much into like the mindfulness and stuff like that. But to be very honest, I probably wouldn't have signed up initially for Iceland as my next Green Adventures trip. But Kathy was like really into it. And then I have to say now, I'm like getting into it big time, like because she was, and I started, like really like digging into the itinerary and everything. And so yeah, like it was kind of like Idaho. It's not something I would normally do. So I love that. And I think just kind of being out of the comfort zone a little bit, and everybody I've talked to has said how beautiful the country is. And then like you and Lori and Kelly just kind of sold it on me too, like this is a place to travel. And I always feel really comfortable going on Green Adventure trips. I would have to say, I know I don't know, like I didn't hear everybody else's story, but I always feel like I'm very well taken care of. And you always plan something that is like, you don't have to do it, but you can. It's like a little bit, not like challenging, but it could be emotionally challenging, or like zip lining, or scuba diving, or trying to get into the Arctic Ocean, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just kind of into it all right now. And
Great.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for just trusting us all these years, and for the universe for bringing you together. And I think that is truly one of the best things about what I do, is that beautiful destination brings strangers together who become lifelong friends. And as those of you who have been on these tours before, it's like you start to get this cohort of people who will either have traveled, or you're like, oh, you're on a group, you're like, I know those people, when you're talking about, folks. So it's a really nice community. Okay, without further ado, then I am going to, my plan for today is to, go over, will introduce you to some of my friends in Iceland who actually make this trip super special. And because it's not just a tour. You are going to be connected with people who live there, who are wellness professionals, who their passion is helping people. So we're going to do some introductions, and I'm going to go over the tour in general, some of the highlights. As I started working on this presentation, I went down the wormhole of like, oh, I feel like I've been studying for a final exam. Like I've been putting all the pictures together, and I'm like, but this, but that, like creating, like it just kept going. And it just made me realize how full this tour is in terms of even just, it's not just the activities, it's what the benefits of the experiences, how it affects it can improve your health. The magic, the manifesting, the hocus pocus. So without further ado, let me share this slideshow that I've been working on and we will start talking about, we'll start meeting the people who are part of this. And what I want to do is I'd like to, there we go. And then if you all, minus, my co-presenters, if you wouldn't mind muting yourselves, that would be awesome. let's see, can you see me, or you just see my screen, just see the slideshow? Who wants to tell me what I'm seeing here? Oops.
I have all the participants on the side of
Okay.
the slideshow, so I can see you and everybody else.
Okay. I would really like it. One second here. I just sorry. I don't like this setup. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. All right, so let me just try this for a second. Yeah. All right, so maybe we'll just stick with the gallery view. It's like all of a sudden I've forgotten how to do a Zoom presentation. Sorry. What buttons do I push? I don't know how to do this. Okay. Okay, can you see me talking now and the screen and the participants? Okay, let's try this now. All right, I feel better about this. Okay, so as you know, this is the Iceland Hot Springs and Mindfulness Tour, and the proposed tour dates for 2025, we have March 14 to 2022, and potentially in October 2025 session as well. And we this year in March 2024, we ran our first retreat, and we did it again in October because it was so successful in March. So it'd be nice if we could do the same thing, but the dates for October haven't been set up yet. So who is Green Adventures? For those of you who are new to Green Adventures, I'm Tara. I'm the founder of Green Edventures Tours, and these are all the destinations that we take participants to. Our goal is to help people have extraordinary experiences in off the beaten path places. And as you can see, you know, we go everywhere from places in the United States to South America, Iceland, and even Africa. And my trips have evolved from, they first started off as student trips. I started my business in 2009 for high school science teachers and their students. And then in 2010, an organization called Becoming an Outdoors Woman contacted me, and they asked if I wanted to do women's trips in Baja, and I said absolutely. And it's because of that first group of women that we have all these destinations now. And I also like to mention too, the reason why we have why we even have a hot springs and mindfulness tour or knitting tours now versus big wildlife adventures or hiking adventures is because that's how we've evolved. It's based on the interest of our participants. So as Leanne had mentioned earlier, we give people really extraordinary experiences, and there's still some sort of challenge, right? It doesn't have to be a physical challenge, it could be a mental challenge, like getting yourself into the Arctic Ocean, just believing you can do it. And it's amazing what you could do with the right group of people around you supporting you. So our agenda today is to go over some introductions. I have some friends here who are a part of the Hot Springs Mindfulness Tour in Iceland. I want to talk to you about why Iceland. Why do we even have tours there? I'll tell you why I call it the Hocus Pocus trip, jokingly to between me and Inga and anybody who goes on this trip. We'll talk about the wellness component, the hot springs and pools, and we'll talk about some of the logistics too. And then we'll give you a chance to go over to ask any questions. So from left to right, I'm actually going to skip Inga for a second. I'm going to jump in and say I'm Tara, and I met Inga in 2023. She's my guide, and but I've been taking groups to Iceland since 2017, and they are primarily multi-sport adventures. So we do kayaking, hiking, and horseback riding, and then it evolved into hiking trips, so like Lugavegger hike, and which is a 40-mile hut-to-hut hike in the Highlands. And in the summer of 2023, I ran into my lucky charm here, Ingeborg, and we just really connected, and she's a fantastic guide, but she's got a lot of great ideas for tours. And I told her, I said, Inga, I just am looking for a trip that combines rest, hot springs, good food, and maybe a little bit of magic. Oh, and Northern Lights. And that's how this trip was born. And so I'm really excited that together we've created this. So Inga, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Tara. Yeah, so I am Inga, and that's my nickname. And I've been guiding for over 35 years in Iceland, and I like to do different things in life. I'm also a fashion designer and a knitter, and I've been doing a lot of wellness for myself for years, doing different kinds of therapies and taking classes in Reiki and float therapy. And so, yeah, I have just always been interested in developing myself more and more. When Tara told me that she wanted to do hot spring tours, I had done hot spring tours in the past with another agency, but that was more like hiking in hot springs. But this was like all about, we wanted to have like wellness and hot spring in this. So that was really, it really spoke to me to make this tour happening. And we were so fortunate that we could pull in a great people to do these things with me, Svava and Solveig. So I think this tour is a great tour. Actually, I'm very proud of it. And we have been running it 2 times now, and it really works well. So I really like it, and I'm just like, oh, this is such a nice tour. And thank you, Tara.
Thank you. So let's talk to the ladies who make this trip really special. And I'd like to start with Svava. Svava, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Tara and Inga. And if I just start by, yes, my name is Svava Brooks. I am born and raised in Iceland, but I got myself this American last name by marrying an American, lived there for 30 years, but recently relocated back to Iceland. Very happy to be here and to be a part of this tour with Tara and Inga. Inga and I have been friends since we were 10 years old. So we go way back. But I am, I work with people to help their bodies release stress, tension, and fatigue. I use a somatic healing method called TRE, tension releasing exercises. Been doing that for almost 7 years. Also am a fascia decompression provider. I use a particular healing modality called block therapy. And just, I think like so many of us, what we've found along the way to help ourselves, when we find something that we're excited about, I can't speak for all of you, but I then can't help but want to share it with others. And so that's what I do. And on this journey, I've learned about breathing, mindfulness, meditation, and one of my favorite tools is self-compassion. And so that is what I bring to all my clients. I think I will have an opportunity in a little bit, right, Tara, to speak more about what it is that I do on this tour. But this tour is very, very special. I get to be a part of it, and I'm just so grateful. And I want to encourage you, because I think Iceland, like Hawaii, when you go there once, you have to go back. And Iceland is kind of like that. And I'm so glad that I moved back 30 years later. Now I'm living back here.
Great. Well, thank you, Svava. It's a pleasure working with you, and I'm really glad you're here today to share what you do with everybody who's interested in this tour, because like I was saying before, it's the people that really make this trip super special. And I would love to introduce Solveig. Solveig, would you like to tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, hi, my name is Solveig, and thank you, Tara, for having me a part of this tour, and Inga, and I'm very happy also that Svava, I know Svava also, she's great. I work at my home as a sound healer, yoga teacher, Bowen techniker. But I also work 80% with assisting physiotherapists in Kristnes Hospital. And I think my aim is to heal people, to help people be well. I have this, my home, I call it the Wellness Center at the Vökuland. And I got the group here, and maybe I get to tell more about it when we see the slides, where we have the sound healing and why is it in that kind of place. But yes, this is what I do. I like to heal people and make them feel better.
And you do a very good job at it. I walk away from that experience every time feeling just I've connected a little bit more to the energy where the wellness center is. That there's the energy there is really, really special and magical. So I'm excited to be part of that experience too, and to take people there. Thank you. Okay, so like I always like to start off with a little geography lesson. Where is Iceland? And Iceland is smack dab in the middle between North America and Europe. And like I know that when in 2016, when someone said you should do a trip to Iceland, I thought, why would I take groups to Iceland? I didn't really, and I don't really say that. I don't say what's in Iceland, but I did. I actually said what's in Iceland. Iceland is, it's an amazing place, and I'll show you a slide in a second. But what is even more special from a geological perspective is this little blob here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean is actually sitting on top of a mountain range in the mid-Atlantic ridge. And so it is a very special place where scientists can actually see where seafloor spreading is taking place above the surface of the ocean. And it's gradually pushing, creating more ocean, but also pushing the North America and Europe continents farther apart from each other. And on this little island, you have a whole bunch of otherworldly type experiences, from massive fjords to volcanic deserts, to glaciers and waterfalls and volcanoes. And so it is truly the land of fire and ice. And a lot of people come here for it's huge in tourism now. Many people like to go to the South Coast to experience the glaciers and the waterfalls and the black sand beaches. And by getting to Iceland is actually relatively easy from the United States now. You can, and even from Canada. I know there's direct flights from Toronto, so JFK, O'Hare, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Seattle, Iceland Air has direct flights, and they actually have the most economical flights getting to Iceland. You would fly into Keflavik International Airport, which is the airport that serves Reykjavik, and then you would take a fly bus or a private taxi from Reykjavik to Reykjavik, which is about 45 minutes away. And anybody who signs up on this trip, we give very detailed travel parameters. But I just want to show you how easy it is to get to Iceland. From the United States, you could be in Iceland in 5.5 hours. And the cost for airfare is about $750 to $900 US. But so a lot of people come here for the breathtaking landscapes, and the hot springs are becoming more and more popular here. People like to hike to hot springs. There's nature spas, and there are pools. And I never really thought much about the hot springs, other than they were really comfortable and I enjoyed them and they're beautiful scenery, until I started to learn about Icelandic bathing culture and how these hot springs are more than just tourist attractions. They were there since people have been soaking in hot water in Iceland since settlement. And Inga, I know you did your master's thesis on bathing culture. Do you want to tell people a little bit about it?
Yeah, I need to unmute myself. So yes, the Vikings, when they came to Iceland, they had probably been all over Europe, and they had gotten to know the Roman baths, and when they found all this hot water pouring out all over the island, they started to pull up bathing facilities, and it became like very popular things to do. People would gather in those bathing facilities to meet each other and just chit chat. At the end of the day, young people would gather there together in the evenings to meet each other. And so it was both like just for relaxation, but also like a meetup place. And that's how it has been every time since. We still use the pools and the hot springs as a meetup places to meet friends. And like when I had my kids young, I would call my girlfriend and say, hey, let's meet up at this pool with the kids at this hour. And then we would stay there for 2 hours, and the kids would play, and we would sit in the hot tubs and chat. So yeah, pools have been for a long time, and also like steam baths. There were a lot of different steam baths in the country where we would heal arthritis and asthma people and so on. So it has been going on for centuries here in Iceland.
And one of the very popular hot springs is the Blue Lagoon, for example, that you may have heard. But that's a man-made hot spring that we do not do on this tour. And the goal of this trip is to get people away from the crowds, and that's why we head to the north and we have some more quiet experiences. But it's kind of like, as I've been learning about Iceland, and I came there from an environmental perspective, I just now started to evolve my own interest into the cultural perspective. And when I started to learn more about Icelandic bathing culture, I felt that I wanted participants to experience this more, because that truly, no pun intended, immerses you into the culture. This is one of it's something they used to do since Viking ages, and people there still do as part of a culture, as part of their culture. So what does the Hot Springs and Mindfulness Tour combine? It's a self-care tour. We want you to feel like you're choosing this to take care of yourself. You deserve this experience. And we use mindfulness and connection in North Iceland. So we want to have, we want people to connect with nature, themselves, and each other. We will explore a variety of small towns, one hot tub or a hot pool at a time, and you're going to learn about you'll be experiencing bathing culture in Iceland, including doing some cold water immersion, and then also the magic. So that's the intangible part of this tour that I call the hocus pocus part of it. It's the things we can't guarantee, that not everybody can see, but are special to you, that are transformative, that help inspire you, give you, help you follow your intuition, give you guidance. And that's like the runes, for example, or hidden folk, that are stories about hidden folk and the folklore of like elves and trolls who live in the nature. So these are the three things that we combine on the Hot Springs and Mindfulness Tour. And so we'll use alternative wellness practices. We will do meditations. We'll do breathing exercises. And then also we will talk about how we use these tools to help connect us with the metaphysical. And this is just, you could be as into this part of it as you want or not. But the main thing is that we want to relax our nervous system, see evidence that there's something greater than us, and that that we can create the world we want by raising our vibrations and attracting the positive experiences into our life by being open to them. And so on this trip, I was super inspired. I made a journal that you will use to help you throughout your journey. You can use it as like a traditional journal, but you could also use it to record your rune readings. You get a box of runes and Inga will show you how to cast your runes and interpret them. And you will and then also you can use your journal to record. You can use your journal to also like record observations for like synchronicities or things that you're like new ideas or recipes. I just say treat it like a spell book, actually. Okay. So here's the overview of where we're going on this tour. And I want you to see Reykjavik is the starting point of it. You fly into Keflavik. Can everyone see my mouse moving at least? Do you see a mouse? Yeah. So you fly into Keflavik, we start in Reykjavik, and then we gradually move our way northwest to North Iceland. And as we do that, we're getting farther and farther away from the tourists. We're not tourists on this tour, but we are getting farther away from the Golden Circle or the South Coast where most people tend to go. And I like to call it Iceland's quiet coast. And so we will, this is the path we'll take. We'll get as far north as where the wellness center is here in Akureyri. And then we'll drive back. So over 7 days, we drive up here slowly, stopping along the way for staying in country hotels and different little towns. And then eventually on the last full day, we do drive all the way back. It's a full day. Now you can, if you don't, it's not a straight drive though. We stop and get out and do little, like we stop at historic sites or natural sites to learn, about nature and to see more of the countryside that we couldn't see on the way there. But those who don't want to do the full day car ride back could upgrade a flight back to Reykjavik that we could help you organize. And then you could be in Reykjavik in 45 minutes from Akureyri and do extra shopping. So that's one of the add-ons of this tour. And what I love about the North is just that it's a winter wonderland. And it does get more snow than the South Coast does. And it just has, during these two times of year from March and October, it has this kind of like, it's got golden hour. It usually has an eternal golden hour with an occasional blue sky in the middle of the day. And so the colors are really beautiful, even in this somewhat black and white landscape. And so we'll explore little towns. Inga will walk you around and tell you the history of places, stories. You'll see breathtaking landscape along the way, and any moments where, like in this one, we pulled over on the side of the road because of the alpine glow that's taking place with the sun rising low on the horizon and the Icelandic horses in the foreground. And also chances to see some waterfalls and other geological wonders. And of course, we like to put you in the best place possible to potentially have amazing Northern Lights pictures. This night was fantastic. You could see this with your naked eye. That's how vivid and beautiful it was. So mindfulness, when I first started doing, I remember mindfulness has been like a buzzword now for a couple of years. At least that's been on my radar. And I was like, what is mindfulness? I never really fully understood what that was. And I thought, why would anybody want to do a tour that's mindfulness? And I can tell you that a lot of people's misconception about this tour is that we're going to be sitting around all day, like meditating. And that's not the case. We are going to give you the tools to teach you how to be mindful. And then we're going to integrate that throughout the tour. And mindfulness could just be thought of as an awareness of the present moment, grounding yourself by connecting with your surroundings. Have you heard of that? Like think of what are 4 things you could smell, 4 things you can touch, 4 things you could hear. That's a way to ground. That's one of a grounding method. It's balance. It's having both action and rest, and you get both of this on this tour. And then the goal is to help you result in stress reduction or mental clarity. Some people come on this trip saying, "I just need a break," and I need a break from work. I need a break from just life. I need a break from my relationship in that sense, but I need to just be alone for a little bit. And then also I have some things in my mind that I'm trying to get answers to. And people have said they've gotten mental clarity from just having some time to just focus on themselves, get the rest they need, nurture themselves, and just take time to think about them. Like I said, so we start our tour in Reykjavik, and our hotel is right across the street from this church, the Hallgrímskirkja Church. So you can see that you can. The town is super walkable, and there are plenty of shops. You can buy wool here. You can go to the pool if you wanted to. You could walk around, and you go to the church. You could see other just get a feel for the city. But we don't stay here very long. The tour really starts on day 2. And I have to say, in Reykjavik, Inga and I will meet you there. We go out, we have a meeting from the hotel, we go out for dinner. And so your tour really starts the evening of day 1. But day 2, we meet up with Savava, and this is to create the foundation of our experience. Savava, do you want to talk a little bit about the Sacred Circle and what this time with our group is like, what it's for? Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, where do I start? You've said so many things. I was taking notes. So good job, Tara. I'm sold. I'm going to sign up for this tour. So, well, she talked about mindfulness. You talked about people wanting to go to slow down, right? And so I'm someone who have worked with groups for a very, very long time. And I think because we are social creatures, we heal in groups. We don't heal in isolation, we heal in groups. And we heal by connecting with our hearts, and we connect and we heal by slowing down. Our bodies are healers, are our healers. And to how to support this, the tour with a mindful self-awareness as you go out into nature, to be more present and allow yourself to connect with the power of nature in Iceland. We spent some time getting to know each other during this, and I call it Sacred Circle, because we make a point of everybody's voice being heard. Everybody gets to contribute to our shared, or we share what's an important value that we like to be honored during our time together. It is because when we as humans feel safe, we open our hearts. And so whenever we come together as a group, it is important to us to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel valued, feel that we belong. So we spend some time exploring what has brought you here. We pull cards for clarity, and it's always just so magical how people always pull the right card that sets often the tone and the intention for the trip. And we come up with shared agreements that kind of is the foundation for safety and trust for the whole trip. And we do that, as you can see, sitting around in a circle. And I guide you through some meditation. I give you a self-compassion practice that not only will support you on the tour, but I say for the rest of your life. Self-compassion is a very powerful healing tool. And yeah, and I don't know what else to say about that, but I think having done these kind of circle ceremonies in the beginning of a group, whether the group that I've been working with was meeting for a week or meeting for a year, it's really what sets the tone for kind of the magic of what can happen with people when we come with a shared intention. And each person gets to set their own intention as well for the journey. So anything you want to add to that, Tara, since you've been, or Inga?
I wanted to say that, and I'm quoting one of the participants who said, we went from day 1 to day 4 in a couple of hours. in terms of like how people just connected. You really facilitate this beautiful space where people do just open up. It amazes me, and that's why we love. I love taking participants here because. And our participants talk about it all week, about how their time with you it allowed them to feel safe, and and how it set the tone for the rest of the trip. And so I love it. And then we actually come back to you at the very end too, and we talk about some of the things you taught us and how it was integrated, and those intentions that were set. What do we learn from them, or how did the universe reveal, what did the trip reveal to us through those intentions? And it's crazy how those cards sometimes, like, they are the answer. Like it's almost like you pull the card and there's like, how does this relate to you? And then at the end you pull a card and you're like, it's almost, they are they're counterparts to the each other. So I love it. This is where the magic starts for sure. Great.
Yes, definitely, Svava. Thank you so much for doing this safe circle with us, because that really sets the value and the intentions for the whole rest of the tour, and it puts us on the right track right from the beginning, right from the starting of the tour. And it's a vital foundation to build on when you wanna open up and work on yourself. You need to have safe space to do that. So yeah.
You definitely have a gift, and thank you for sharing it with me.
Yeah.
So Solveig has a little bit of a time crunch, so I'm gonna skip a couple of the slides and go to Solveig's sound bathing. So Solveig, do you want me to play this? Do you want to talk about what's happening here?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can
have
narrate.
I am a sound bathing in a yurt, in a Mongolian yurt. So where you see the video, I'm cleaning everyone with shades first. So it's like they spread out their wings, and I clean on both sides and everywhere. It's just so you go clean. It's like a smoke bath before you go enter the yurt, just to have good energy with you. So nothing like nothing will follow you into the yurt. It's nothing. It's not a spooky thing, but it's just what we do. And then you see the yurt. It's has been there in my garden the last 5 years. Me and my husband, we put it up, and we really wanted to have something that was very natural, a space where I do yoga, I teach yoga there, I do the Bowen technique there and the sound healing, and people can have up to 15 ladies, people, often ladies, usually sitting in a circle on a very soft mattress with the pillows and Mexican blankets, which are very good because they are heavy and warm. And I now have wool shoes for everyone, so they will never get cold on their toes when they lie there, especially in winter. It's never though cold in the yurt because it's heated up with geothermal water. And there we call it to heal the inner goddess, and we do grounding first, and then yoga nidra, like a meditation, and then the sound bathing. And I don't know if you have been in a yurt, but the reason why we have the yurt is because the yurt helps you, like Svava said before, helps you to connect to nature. It is only made of wood, wool, and cotton, and everything that is in there, the instruments and the material, maybe not the mattresses, but most all the other material is natural and very, I would say, handmade and very precious, I would say. And walking into the yurt is like coming home, as people describes it. and it lifts your spirit and help you kind of be present. It has no windows, and you are just there like in a mother womb of your mother. And then the sound from many instruments like the gongs, the drums, the singing bowls, and the crystal bowls, for example, helps you to relax and release tension and anxiety. And you kind of forget everything. You just lie there and flow away somewhere, but you are very safe there because I clean it every day. I have lots of crystals, and I have lots of, it's like protected. And so it's, I would say we have all the elements there: fire, the water, air, and earth. And it's just very nourishing also, because you are out in the nature, but you are inside a tent, and you release cortisol, because like lying just outside. And when you lie out like that, you kind of everything kind of releases from you don't have to do anything but lie down, kind of, of course I'm not going to say everything, but of course you kind of you start thinking about laundry and stuff. Maybe not on this tour, but people often think about what they're doing tomorrow or the day after. But there, the sound healing helps you kind of to thinking. It's like it takes you somewhere no one knows where they're going when they start the journey in the yurt. And I would say they always end in a better place than they started.
I
So,
agree. I know that for me, that each time I go through the journey, that I've had everything from just simple meditation and a really relaxing experience to I've felt to an out of body experience. Like I've felt myself come out of my body there. It's being completely transparent and how that felt. And then also we're holding on to rocks, those warm rocks, right? Which is also another form of why do we hold on to the warm rocks or put them places?
Yeah, everyone get rocks from Icelandic nature, either from mountain or from coast, and I heat them up on my geothermal oven, and the rocks helps you to be grounded, like, and also to help you be present. Like if your thinking start to be overwhelming, then you can just squeeze the rock, and you kind of remember then where you are. It kind of get you back to present. But it's mostly is like you are grounded. Like you are there. You're just stuck in the earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say grounded. Yeah. That's the reason, and also it's warm, so it's really nice to have a warm rock. People are very often cold; their hands are cold. So this is like a self-love. Also, it's like gives you good feeling, and people feel like they get a warm rock, and the rock keeps the warm when you hold it in your palm. It's like heating you up. It's like a good warm embrace.
Yeah.
Well,
great. Inga, do you have anything you want to share about that experience?
No, not really. I just love it. I get all sorts of vibration. Like I can feel the vibration going through my body. And like last time I don't remember if you remember it, but I had like a pain in my back.
Yeah.
So I had the strange feelings that I had to put the stones under where my kidneys are. And so I was actually putting them through there. And when you were doing the sound bathing, it was like that all that energy went into those rocks and up to my back. It was so strange. And it was just like, it was this sensation that I had to do it. I couldn't control it, It was just someone saying to me, put this under your back, lay on it, you know.
Yeah.
And then all this stream went into my body, and it was like so strange. And then I felt so much better the next day. So I really believe that I was being healed in your yurt.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's great because it's kind of takes your control. You know, you're not in control. It's
Any longer, yeah.
any longer now. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just good to listen to your intuition, because sometimes things come to us and we don't know where it comes from. But if you just listen to it, it may help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just let go and flow with
Yeah.
with everything and trust. Yeah. That's what it is about. It's about Iceland and the nature. You just flow and everything comes out.
Can you tell us in a few sentences about the drawing that's sitting next to you in the area here in this picture? The lady?
About about Moa.
Yeah.
Moa, M-O-A. Yeah, it's a hidden lady, hidden people lady, elf lady. I sensed some energy in the garden, and I had a psychic lady, Bryndís Fjóla. She can see hidden people. I cannot, but I can feel them. And she described Moa, that Moa is a mother of 3 or 4 kids. Her husband died 4 years ago, and when he died, we were just about to build the yurt, and she gets her strength from the yurt. She lives in a tree in the garden, pine tree, and we kind of help each other. She gives me advices, and she also is around in the yurt, as the psychic said. And you can think about her, because if you think about her, she's a kind of a healer, of course. She's healing, and yeah. So I got another person to draw Moa after the description, because I don't see her. I would like to see her. So she is there with us, and the thing is that there is a very good vibration in the very good energy in the yurt, because. Also, the psychic Bryndís Fjóla said that there is through the yurt is a kind of like an energy line where the hidden people is walking from or moving energy from one healing spot, like from one mountain to another mountain, and this is kind of the not the bus stop, but it's kind of the shelter. They stop there with Moa, and Moa feeds them with bread. She's holding a bread, but you cannot see it on the photo. But they stop there, like maybe have a rest and have something to eat. And Moa is there helping them. And when these people, hidden people, are moving around, there are lots of prayers. You know, it's prayed for them. You know, hidden people are said to be very Christian. So there's a lot of praying, and that is why the energy in the yurt is also so good, because the line lies through it, and it's just absolutely that you can feel the energy. The good energy is from the hidden people, which are all around us.
I love that, and I love that we often hear, like Inga will tell us stories about the hidden people, but it's nice to be in a place where you feel that there's somebody there, and she brings good energy, and she and her family thrive off of our energy too, and find joy in our healing. So that's really beautiful. Well, thank you, Solveig, and thank you for.
I'm sorry, I have to go. I'm going to gong in the church.
All right, go gong.
With a group. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
to see you.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So what I'm just going to jump back to here is we have about 15 more minutes. So if you're running late, we're running a little late. But so feel free to leave and I'll send you a recording. But there's a couple of things I just wanted to circle back on is that Svava in her the Sacred Circle teaches us some grounding methods and some exercises. And here's one where Ingo is leading the tree swaying Inga, what's the name of this waterfall?
Cola.
Kola. Oh yeah, Kola, exactly. And also look how beautiful the scenery is. And what these folks are taking in is just the sound of that powerful water cascading over those volcanic rocks. And this water is melting from glaciers and going out into the Arctic Sea. And we did do a little exercise here where we focused our intentions on a rock and threw that rock into the river and, wanted to give the world some healing vibrations too. Inga will lead like some light yoga movement on the beach. But Inga, do you want to tell them about the heart energy session here?
Yes. Well, I think that very often we have a hard time with connecting to other people heartfully. And it was an exercise that I was taught a long time ago to connect to other people heartfully. And so I teach that out on the beach in Iceland, because I like to do that out in the nature, because I think when we are in the nature, we get the strongest energy for healing, and healing our body and healing our soul. And so that's what that's what you see us doing out on the beach. We are doing a little bit of yoga, and then we are heart connecting to ourselves and each other. So.
And what is heart, like these two ladies, what are they doing on the right here?
Yeah, there we are putting on the right side, we are putting hands on each other's hearts without any talking, and just watching each other with a lot of love and good intention that we are giving to each other with our minds. You don't have to say anything, you just have to pass it with your thoughts.
And that's a really beautiful exercise to do on the beach.
And a very powerful.
And powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah, it is powerful. People really feel it. And it's amazing. This is flotation therapy. And Inga, do you want to describe, there's 2 slides here, I have a video of it, but what's this in general?
The floating therapy.
Yeah.
So the floating therapy is all about like letting your body floating with some helping devices that we have in the hot geothermal water. And then the floating therapist, I am doing the floating therapy there, I think.
That was Olaf. This is you.
Is this Olaf? Is it me there? Yeah. Okay. So then we do movements in the water. So we are moving the body around to get some tension release out of the body. And then we do also some body massage with your hands and your shoulder and your feet. So yeah.
And you see the snowflakes coming down? This is super pretty. And you notice that the person that's being floated is covered in a blanket, a little bit of sensory deprivation with their eyes covered, and they have the floats on their legs and head. And this is supposed to give deep relaxation and help with your just a little bit of easy body stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll catch up. So let's just talk about hot and cold water. I just want to highlight a couple of the beautiful places you're going to be soaking in along the North Coast that don't necessarily have that aren't guided in terms of the experience, but you integrate what you're learning along the way and just enjoying yourself in some of these beautiful places. And this picture is taken in front of one of the hotels in Siglufjord that we stay at. And this night, these gals had seen Northern Lights, and it's right on the harbor. This is one of my favorite little towns in North Iceland. But this is Kremsvik Nature Spa, and I don't have the best picture of this because it's got multi-levels, many pools. But what I want to point out here is it's a nature spa out in a fjord, and it's what these nature spas are like. They have like dressing room facilities and lockers. They have a restaurant and also a swim up bar. So they're definitely manicured and more tourist centered, but they are super beautiful. And this one is on the North Atlantic. And so what you see here is like where there's just one of, I think, 6 different pools, 6 different hot pots that have been man-made. But they're pumping hot water and mixing it with the cold seawater. So it's brackish water that you're sitting in. And you can float in it and, meditate just by listening to the sound of there's little waterfalls that are bubbling into these pools. And I found myself just lost in time, just as I float in this hot water. And hot water in Iceland is not like hot water in Chicago. I'm going to tell you that for a fact. There's just something about the geothermal, the way it's heated feels better on my bones than just hot water like that's chlorinated here in the United States. But
I think it's because it has different minerals, Tara.
Oh, and the minerals too? Yeah.
It has different minerals than you have.
Okay. So this is Inga giving like I won't do the whole thing since it's hard, you won't be able to hear it anyway, but she's doing a pep talk, and she is your ultimate coach on getting you into the cold water. And a lot of people look at her and they're like, there's no way I'm gonna go out into the ocean. And see, she's like pointing out, see, look, those people did it. And our group is still probably skeptical about it. And she teaches just teaches you how to breathe, and you can't be, tense, and how to just relax. And then what's lovely is that people trust her. And they should. And so this is Inga taking the group out for the first time, their very first time in cold water. Again, this is the North Atlantic. And it's such a rewarding experience for everybody. I mean, it's, Inga, how would you describe this? I mean, why is it such a big deal? Oops, for
Big
people.
deal.
Yeah, like why is it so? Why do people feel so accomplished?
I think it's because you get kind of a nirvana when you're coming out.
Yeah.
So it's once you have plunged in and you stay in the water for a little while, when you come in, you are like in another world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it does something to our body system. I know it boosts, like what they say is cold water plunging stimulate your immunity system. So it helps you with recovering from all sorts of things. Like if you have arthritis, for example, muscle cramps and different things. People say that a lot of people have healed through cold water bathing, and especially in the sea, because in the sea also there is a lot of minerals, as you know. So, there is some kind of ecstasy in going into the cold water, and once you start doing it, it becomes like it's addicting habits that you crave it. And when you haven't been doing it for a while, you crave going in there again. It's really strange, but it's amazing. It's really good.
You get a dopamine hit every time you go, you come out, you get a flood of dopamine in your nervous system.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you feel so good. You have to try it. It's impossible to describe. You just have to do it, live it to understand it. So that's the only thing that I can say to you.
And I want to point out too that you see that people are wearing a little bit like they're bathing suits, but then like some people have neoprene hoods and some people have neoprene gloves. They all walked out in neoprene boots. So that's one of the things that you definitely want neoprene boots because your feet will get cold in this water quick, one of the quickest. Your extremities get cold, and some people really like to have the gloves. Not everybody has the hoods, but if I'm someone who gets cold pretty easily, and I liked having the hood for being in the cold water. Okay, so now that's a nature spa, but we also go to pools, and I want people to understand that. I don't know if people really recognize that in the itinerary. What does it mean that we're going to pools? So these are many communities all across Iceland have a public pool, and they're hot water. Like the swimming pool in the back there is warm. It's not hot, but it's warm. It's geothermally heated. And then you also have hot tubs. And this pool is special because it's an infinity pool. And you can look across the fjord at the mountains. But Inga, why did you decide to take them to community pools? Why is that on the itinerary?
Because that's such a big part of our Icelandic bathing culture, the municipality pool. And even though we call it municipality pool because it's paid for by the municipality and it's really cheap to go into them compared to the spas, it's really spa pools because the qualities of the water and all the facilities that are put in is just amazing. So it's no less than a spa very often, the community pools.
And some of them have infrared saunas and steam saunas and dry saunas. And I never took my camera into any of the saunas. So that's something that we won't talk about on this presentation, but there are also infrared sauna experiences too at the pools, and they each have their own health benefits. I find that when I'm alone and if I go to a nature spa like Kremsvik or any of the places tourists will go, that I feel out of place. But when I go to the community pools, I love that I'm not hearing English. I like hearing just local people talking about their day, and I just blend in, and it's not a party atmosphere. It just feels more like a community atmosphere. And I think that's a really special component of this tour, is to feel like you're part of a community. And then another big highlight is Höganäs. Now this is the Arctic Ocean. This is the opportunity for you to, because the other one was North Atlantic. This is to have bragging rights, but also to say, you did it. And this is the first time that Inga took me out into the Arctic Ocean, and notice I'm like 20 steps behind her. But I have a newfound love for this as well. So what does Höganäs look like? So this, what would you call this, a hot spring, Inga? What would you call this?
Yeah, I mean, there are hot springs in that area, so it's just they're just pulling the water out from the hot springs and into the pools.
Yeah, and I love
it's man-made.
Yeah, it is man-made, but it's we oftentimes are the only tourists there. Other tourists will show up, like one or two, but it's not usually crowded. And but there are 3 hot tubs there to the right, and then you have this boat it's got hot water in it too that makes for great photos. And so we will we get ourselves nice and hot in the hot pools, and then eventually make our way out into the Arctic Ocean. And some people find it helpful to hold hands. It just gives you a little bit more courage as you're getting out there. And you notice when Inga was doing the cold immersion at Framsvik a few slides ago, it's not really a cold plunge. It's not like a polar plunge where we're just forcing you to jump in. You're walking out as far as you want. And look, everyone goes out to basically waist deep. And then when you're ready, Inga will help you to get below your heart. Sometimes that is one of the hardest. The next step is getting the water above your heart. And she's doing some breathing exercises. You got to breathe real deep. Allison looks a little stiff in that, but I know that it's always a little shocking the first time you do it. But as Svava said, it becomes, you get this dopamine boost, and you want to keep doing it over again. When you leave, you get out, you go back in the hot tub, and then you're like, I'm going back out to the ocean. And then, as I was talking about the celebration, everybody just loves it. They just feel so good after that first time overcoming it. I find that I'm somebody who a lot of this is in my head, like just like anything. I'm more scared of it in my head than when it actually happens. And I think that's how all these gals felt too. It's like, I don't know if I can get in that cold water. Sure you can. Look at all the people who believe in you. And you've been training all along the way, because some of those public pools also have cold plunges or cold pools, so you can practice your breathing. And then there's some other places that we like to go. We'll go to the beer spa. This is another chance to soak in some hot water. And this is a tub full of hops and other nutrients in the beer making process that's good for the skin. And 2 people will sit in that tub, and you can drink unlimited beer from the tap. You see that from the left. You don't drink it from the tub, but you sit in there for about 30 minutes and enjoy the nutrients on your skin, soaking into your skin. And then other highlights that we just don't have time to really talk about. In addition, we do we do a brewery tour. We do a few morning meditations led by me and Inga. She has a sound bowl, and I have some guided meditations, and it's optional. We go to the Museum of Prophecies and have our fortunes told with runes, and then also learn about a witch who lived in the area. And in terms of just like what kind of meals do we eat, and our meals included. So on this tour, all breakfasts are included, a couple of lunches, and then the rest of your meals are not included. And this works out so much better this way, because you can order from a menu and get what you want and not feel like you're stuck to a group menu. And also, and they have lots of varieties to choose from, so that if you are a vegetarian or a vegan or lactose intolerant, they can accommodate pretty much any dietary restriction. We get around in these like sprinter vans, Mercedes bus sprinter vans, and they're anywhere from 12. It depends on the size of the group, but typically 12-seater van. And then if the lodging we stay at is 3- and 4-star accommodations, very simple but clean, and they're unique places. They're not huge hotels. So there's country hotels, there's a boutique hotel in Siglufjord, and many of them have hot tubs or saunas and nice lounging areas for everyone to gather. What do you need on this trip? It's cold, right? But really you just need outer layers that protect you from the rain and wind, and an insulated like down jacket. Those of you who are coming from like Florida or like far south, we could talk to you about how you maybe could insulate with what you have. You could also rent stuff in Iceland too. And then in terms of gear, the only gear you need would be yak tracks or like inexpensive ice grippers that go on your boots, because when we walk around waterfalls and such, it's slippery and we don't want you to fall, or even just some days in the morning in the parking lots, it's slippery. So you want to have those with you. And then if you want to do the cold water immersion, you'll want to invest in some neoprene. It's like $20 to buy gloves and boots. So you don't have, it's not a big investment, but it will help you enjoy your experience. And trekking poles are always good for, especially if you have balance issues, for just walking around even some of the basic trails to help, just keep you more stable. But I want to end with one of the reviews from Dory Lynn, who she participated in the October trip. And she said, she wrote this on Google. She said, "The Iceland hot springs and mindfulness retreat spoke to me as soon as the itinerary was posted on Green Edventures website. The promise of soaking in geothermal pools, learning new mindful techniques, and the hope of seeing northern lights convinced me to sign up. But in the end, the trip left me with so much more. Each day was a new adventure. Tara and Inga ensured we were all prepared in terms of what to wear and what to have in our day packs and what to expect when we traveled. We walked on black sand beaches, snowshoed among birch trees. This trip, they snowshoed, explored colorful towns, learned about Icelandic sagas and folklore, and enjoyed a local brewery. We viewed stunning fjords and waterfalls, stopping to photograph Icelandic horses, visiting a turf church, and hiking through lava fields. Are just a few of the highlights. Did I mention the delicious food and comfy hotels? Each day was a unique and amazing experience." And Inga Tara's positive energy and authentic concern for each individual made everyone in the group feel special. Inga's guiding experience, knowledge, and love for her home country was evident as she relayed history, folklore, and personal stories throughout the journey. Their deep friendship and natural playfulness kept us all laughing. Together, they opened our hearts and minds to Iceland. Thanks, Dory Lynn. All right, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, well, if you're interested in signing up on this tour, you should go to greenadventures.com. And I already have a link directly to, are you able to see the website? Yes? Can you see the website or no?
Yes.
Okay, so the link to our website, and you can view the itinerary, and you can sign up here. We have early bird package price right now and $200 deposit. And you just follow the instructions and see all the details, all the detailed itineraries, and tell your friends. I hope you will join us.
See you in Iceland very soon.
Yes. I hope to see you next.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Tara, I have one question
Sure.
regarding gloves. I
Mhm.
mean, I know I had my gloves that I took for the waterfalls and everything this summer,
Mhm.
but I'm looking at, different climate. And since I'm from Florida, I don't have a big glove collection.
Well, like the gloves, you could, I'd have to I don't know what gloves you had, but you may want to get some of those hand warmers, so if you don't want to buy more gloves, you could also just get those hot hands and put those in your jacket and have those work too. But for being in the water, you'll want neoprene gloves.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, thank you for sitting through and for your interest in learning about it and for signing up on it. And definitely tell your friends, and hopefully we can get this tour confirmed for March.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.